Kiss, or their kind of attempt at rebranding again. It came out 30 years ago today. I remember, I'm not the world's biggest Kiss fan, despite what all the Kiss message boards will tell you. But I remember getting Kiss Revenge because you got to remember, this is right when grunge hit. And so every band that had come up in the 80s, and of course Kiss predates that, but they were all flipping out because they're like, what the hell are we going to do? We're all dead now because of Kurt Cobain and company. And Kiss put Revenge out, and it was them all in black leather, and it was kind of a harder vibe for them. They had gone unshaven for a while. Mm-hmm. And Eric Singer, the pride of Euclid, Ohio, that was their first album with him, and he just went in to overdub Eric Carr's drum parts while Eric Carr was dealing with cancer. And so I think Eric Singer I think he was supposed to be kind of a temporary thing, and then Eric Carr ended up dying. And so Eric Singer's been their drummer ever since. But 30 years ago today, if you're a Kiss fan, you remember Revenge came out. It was pretty good. It wasn't received very well by people who write those things up. But it was it definitely sounded different for them, and it had some good stuff on it. I liked Revenge. Because Kiss was coming off like the Day-Glow 80s. They had really gone through a phase there of like, hot pink tights, and they're trying to keep themselves relevant that whole time. Somebody telling me that Max Scherzer has a high-grade oblique strain. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Damn.
See, that'll do it. That's a big chunk of the season. Guardians lost their second of 2 to the Cincinnati Reds about an hour ago. 4-2 was the final there. 5-4 was that first game. Cincinnati beating Cleveland twice, taking their record to 11-26. So congratulations if you're
happy to help.
If you're a Cincinnati Reds fan. That's good news for you. And if you're not a Cincinnati Reds fan, again, I'll just say it's okay. And maybe you're holding a grudge against Pete Rose for some reason. Maybe you're thinking, I don't know, Johnny Bench, how long do I have to keep thinking about that guy? So it's not on you. It's okay. I don't know where I'm going with this. But the point is, whatever. I couldn't help but think, I was reading an article about how more self-control makes a person seem robotic.
Yeah. People
give me a hard time because I think of my, I try to be a disciplined individual. And, perception is reality. And so how people perceive you is how they'll define you.
That's right. Me and you, Alan, just a couple of robots. No personality whatsoever.
This is what I'm saying.
And, we're both so disciplined about everything that we do.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah. 2 peas in a pod over here, me
Listen.
and Alan.
Alan, I don't ever do anything that you don't do. If you don't do it, I won't do it because I love you so much. Do you know what? We are the same person. I'll kiss you on the mouth.
It's part of our discipline.
That's right. I like the discipline. No, the study that was done, they were like, look, desire for things and is part of the whole of human nature. And so people who leave themselves vulnerable to that are seen as more traditionally human.
Yeah.
And people who fend that off are seen as more robotic, I guess. I've been accused of that. But to me, it's fine. It's a trade-off that I'm willing to deal with.
What we are getting to the bottom of in therapy for me is one of the things I said when I quit gambling is that it was my last vice and I don't want to end up being boring. My therapist is like, why do you have to have a vice to be interesting? And I was like, well, I don't know. This is for you to figure out. But it's almost,
job, doc.
Right. It's almost exactly what you're saying. Where like I associate dysfunction and addictions and vices with being an interesting person. And I think it's about immediate payoff.
But it's also strange to come to that conclusion because having dysfunctions does not make anyone unique. So it actually makes you more normal than other people, thereby less interesting.
Do you know that
there's no real hook there?
I don't know if I said this on air or not, but that is the almost exact phrase that my boyfriend used when I was having like a sobbing breakdown about gambling. And I was telling him that like, I just want a normal brain that doesn't latch on to things, and I don't want to have addictions. I want to be normal. And he was like, do you know how normal it is to have addictions? That's actually more normal.
Sure.
And so that's just so weird that you...
Maybe I should move in with Brian.
I honestly think you guys would...
I don't know that we'd be buying each other the same ice
Hey,
creams,
Brian,
but
I
you...
like the way that you're right.
You know what?
I play drums too.
I play drums. I like Wild Berry Crumble. Let's see Wild Berry Crumble play the drums.
Oh, we got the same ice cream. It's fate.
Yeah, we both want to poison a cat.
So people who are perceived as being higher in self-control are considered more robotic.
I don't know about robotic, but I definitely think boring.
Well, my thing is always that my
boring.
discipline comes from the fact that I know myself well enough and have my entire life that the reality is, left to my own devices of not having any discipline,
Oh, you'll ruin stuff.
I will ruin everything.
Right.
Ruin everything.
Yeah.
There's no choice. I don't have any choice. So
Also, when it comes to the whole boring thing, having like just doing everything you want to do all the time,
It's awesome. And it's the best.
No, it's
and
terrible.
It's fulfilling.
It ruins everything.
And you know what? I'm making 14-year-old Mayor happy, and I know that. I told my after this weekend, this is the first time in a while that I've put my entire comedy check into the bank. I didn't keep any money out for gambling. It's been almost 2 weeks. I haven't spent $1 on it. I don't drink anymore. And I told my boyfriend, I was like, oh, I deposited X amount of dollars this weekend. He goes, isn't it great? I'm like, no, it sucks. I want to go buy something I don't need. Or it's a weird
You
transition.
don't like just seeing it in there?
That's what I said. I said that is so boring. Just watching my bank account grow.
Grow?
Ugh.
Dude, that's like the most exciting thing.
I can't wear it.
No, but
I can't show
but
it
at some
off.
point, listen. When I was a younger man, and I started working when I was 15, and I never stopped. And my parents used to tell me, they go, money burns a hole in your pocket,
Oh, big
and you better figure that out, because you're going to end up buying things that you have, and you'll be tired of them.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not going to bring you any
Things
happiness.
are not going to make
Yeah.
you happy. It took me a long time to figure that out.
That's what I'm going through now. Where I'm just like, I want to spend this money. I don't
But
want to
some
have
things
it.
can be fun. But like, you find, you buy within reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, your boyfriend like knickknacks. You get some knickknacks.
Get some
Yeah.
live, laugh, love signs
Yeah.
from old
but that's why collecting things is
Yeah.
a fun, disciplined way to enjoy your hard work.
But I would rather spend my money on doing things than having things. I don't
Yeah,
need
go
to
on a
have
trip
things.
or-
Right.
yeah.
So when you watch that more money to go in the account, you go, hey, we're going to take, if you get a big enough chunk, you go, let's take a little bit of this and go do
You
something
go
fun.
away again or something.
Yeah. We're talking about doing getting a deck on the backyard. And I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. Like, that'll bring me
I thought
joy
he
every
already
day.
had a big deck.
He does have a big deck. But we're talking about one for the house.
You're going to need deck furniture.
Where would I get deck furniture?
I mean, I would go to Northeast Factory Direct, but that's just me. I mean, that's...
But, and he's, pragmatic, and he's very, very disciplined in those ways. And so to him, saving up throughout this year and into next spring, and then being able to spend a large chunk of money on a brand new deck that we will enjoy every single day is more important to him than perhaps buying shoes. Or
In college, I had to take a philosophy class. We were reading this guy, Gustave Flaubert, who was considered this leading French realist philosopher and author. And I have a quote on my desk to this day that I love. It's, be regular and orderly in your life so that you may be violent and original in your work.
I like that.
So when you talk about I'm boring or whatever, it's like there's zero wrong with being boring in the world, as long as whatever your creative stuff is bananas or bonkers or whatever you want it to
Yeah.
be.
Like
I
this
guess.
show is bonkers.
So
Bonkers and bananas.
Bananas. Yeah.
Violent and original.
No, that is
Ring, 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 ring. Banana phone.
And I think it comes, I know it comes from growing up going without. Where actually, Cody's kind of the opposite though. He doesn't spend money on anything except Uber Eats. But never being able to have anything and never getting anything I wanted and having hand-me-downs and stuff like that. It's been 10 years of making my own money and never denying myself anything.
If there's one thing I hoard, it's money. Like there,
WHORED. We already covered this, I think. We know you hoard a lot in college.
No.
Oh.
But
do not define me, whore.
but like honestly, if there's one thing I hoard, it's money, and I barely want to buy necessities with it. Like I'll buy Uber Eats because I'm like, you have to eat, so you do need that to survive. But then I think about like if I want to subscribe to someone's OnlyFans, it's like $5.99. I'm like, you don't need that. It's fine. And I'm like, you literally ordered a $30 meal to have it delivered to your door, but someone's like $5.99. I'm like, that's a waste. Why on earth?
You didn't order a $30 meal.
You ordered a
$15 meal that cost $30.
Yes, for the purchase. So I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. Why would I subscribe $5.99 to someone's OnlyFans? It's just pictures. I can look at porn on the internet. So I like, it's crazy the things that I rationalize because I want to spend money on, but the things I'm like, $5.99? No, and it's for like 30 days.
I would have to do that when I was gambling and stuff. And my sister would remind me. We'd be at a restaurant, and I'd be like, "I'm not paying 49 cents for a side of dressing." And she's like, "You just put $200 into a Buffalo slot machine. What are you talking about? 49
exactly.
cents?"
It's
priorities are a weird thing.
The stuff
Right.
that you rationalize. Because I'm like, there's this guy that I like to subscribe to on OnlyFans. I'm like, no, you subscribed to him last month. You're not doing that again, Cody. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's fine. And I'm like, I look at the Applebee's I just bought. I'm like, so I just got, a quesadilla. I got a wrap. I got a bowl. And I'm like, that was like a $60 altogether purchase. And meanwhile,
But you're also in a position where like you don't have any responsibilities and you're not planning for the future per se. So whatever you do, it's fine.
it's on me. Yeah, I don't have
it's
any
fine.
kids.
Yeah.
For all things considered, like I'm off pretty easy. But it's just.
I mean, you're not blowing money at the casino.
Relax.
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 No. I'm not. What I'm saying is that's a
know.
whole other thing.
All
Like,
things considered, I don't really have like a vice. Like I don't. I mean,
Sex. I guess you're not really banging anymore, huh?
That's what I said.
do not define me, whore.
Not that I don't do randomly hookup, but I'm nothing.
Okay, so do you
compared
not
to the person
do you
I was
not
before.
see your? I guess it's not really a food addiction, but like spending the amount of money you spend on Uber Eats.
Yes, but that's all I have. That's all I have left.
Dude,
don't take it away.
And that's how I felt. That's how I feel about like getting rid of everything that I have and turn into a robot woman like Alan.
But gambling,
I am a robot woman.
I know you are.
that could be a dangerous. Hold on, I had to finish my gummy worm. Like that's all I have. Like I hit the pin, and I guess that could be considered a vice. But after it's gone, I'm like, you just spent $50 on this. You're not buying another one for a long time. You can go without.
Smoke weed every day.
And honestly, that's my form of budgeting. It's not like I have like an actual payment plan. I'm like, you're going to go without this. You're going to go without this. If you can cut down on utilities, what can you cut out first? What do you
Cut
use?
down on utilities.
Like I look at my.
I'm gonna turn my lights on less.
Well, I'm
Who
just
needs
saying.
gas?
Well, I put 10 in the tank no matter
2
what.
gallons now.
Holy cow!
know.
Gas is no joke,
Dude,
boy.
It's like 4. When I was in Salt Lake City, it was over $5.
Oh my God! It's 6:30 on the West Coast, but
Crazy.
even here, I put $30 in, and my tank was like less than half full.
$70 to fill my Kia the other
Yeah.
day. God damn, dude.
So people complain about gas prices. I'm like, my gas has been the same for the last 10 years.
10 is 10. That's it.
10.
Yeah, but you get less for your $10.
$10 for 10 years.
It's like Herman Cain's 999 plan or whatever. 10.
Yeah, shifting your focus to having that discipline and not restrictions.
Self-control.
Self-control.
I think
You have to shift to say these are good things.
the
These
freedom
are
is in the
positive.
discipline.
This is a positive thing.
That's right. People think freedom is whatever they want to do anytime with no
Yes.
consequences. The
Yes.
freedom is in the discipline.
Well, because the more disciplined you are, the more freedom you'll have later.
Or now.
Not even really
Yes.
now. No.
Yes.
No, because it's like with eating and working out. The more disciplined you are now, the better you're going to look later. So you're disciplined and regimented, and you have a lot of self-control in your diet and exercise so that you look good in a few months.
Right, but what I'm saying is the immediate payoff is whatever you've deprived yourself of now is something that you've given yourself the freedom to not have to worry about it.
Or worry about it all the time and be like, well, I can't have that. Oh. That's the conversation I have with
But
myself every
why
day.
so hyper focused on the things you can't have?
Because they're the things that I want, that I know are bad for me.
But they're the things that you want in that moment.
Right.
But
It's
then
all about delayed gratification.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
But not like a year down the road. 5 seconds later. Yeah.
It's hard.
That's
It's
barely
hard to switch.
It's barely delayed.
Yeah, but it's hard to make that switch when you've done whatever you want to do and fed every fleeing little thing that comes into your mind.
I fully understand people that are like, hey, I could die tomorrow. I'm going to have fun now. I completely understand that. But guess what? You're probably not going to die tomorrow. The chances are that you're not going to die tomorrow. You're probably going to live a long time.
My dad, one of the biggest things he said when it came to money that stuck with me before I realized obviously how bad his gambling addiction was, but he would always say, you can't take it with you. Spend your money on what you want because you could die, and then what? You're just going to have money sitting in the bank? And then when he did die and had $500, then we're all looking at each other like, well, not how do we pay for stuff?
Well, listen, everybody will come up with
you know.
excuse for rationales for how they want to live.
Right.
Yeah, so.
But I'm saying that even I loved that saying for so long when I was like, yeah, money doesn't really matter because you can't take it with you. And then my dad died, and I'm like, hey, a-hole, it would have been nice to maybe cover the cost of cremation.
Well, you could have had
like,
insurance. That's
he
a
didn't
totally
have any
different.
of it.
I know, but
I'm
like,
just saying.
normal people would have insurance. Like, don't take the money out of my bank account.
Yeah, there's a balance to these things where you can have some money saved, but also enjoy the money that you make.
Right.
And
Is that offensive to ask a parent, like, hey, how much money do I get when you die?
I think if you ask it like that,
Yeah.
how much money? Not, Mom, do you have an insurance policy? He's not even like being slick. How much money do I get when you die?
Do I have to? Now, is that what I get?
What's
is that
my
what
payout?
I was gonna say, is that what I
Do they
split?
send it to my Venmo?
Does your mom have life insurance?
I'm sure she probably does.
But you don't know if she does. That can be a cost that some people don't want to spend. They're like,
She has life
$5
insurance.
there's a
month.
premium to that. Well, but I mean, you know.
But when I would ask, I'm like, okay, so how much do I get? Okay, is that what I get or is that what I'm splitting with my brother? Because whatever it is, it's 50-50, right? Or do I not? Am I your beneficiary? Am I like, do I
Unless
hold
you
the
kill
keys?
him and take all of it.
No, that would be suspicious. The better way to go is just write him out.
I see.
You got to get him. Like, I'm the one with the
Trying
attorney.
to
I'm
get
the power of attorney.
That's what this Vegas trip's all about. He's going to get his mom drunk and then get power of attorney.
Sign
Get her
this,
to sign
Mom.
some papers. They could
Why are
probably
we
do
at
that.
Club Notary?
Right, that's like, they could probably do that in Vegas. You can get married, annulled, all
In the
kinds of
chapel,
stuff.
all that stuff.
I'm sure that you can switch over your will into someone else's name.
To my son Cody, I bequeath all my pterodactyl skeletons.
And I'm like, Mom, how much bills do you have? Because is that
How
gonna come
much
out of-
bills?
How many bills do you
Maybe
have?
she could spend some money on Rosetta Stone for you, the English version. Mom, how much bills do you have?
How
At
much?
least you didn't say, do you got?
How much bills do you got?
Is that going to come out of my insurance? Like, is that going to come out? Do I have to pay your bills from mine? I don't think that's fair. I'm mourning over a dead mom, and now
You're not.
like, I
Not in
am.
this scenario, you're not.
I am mourning, and now they're hitting me with all these bills, and it has to come out of my insurance that my mother left me because she wants me to make sure I'm
My
good.
insurance, not her insurance. My
That she
insurance.
paid her whole
That,
adult
that she
life.
wanted to make sure I was good.
Maybe that's a reason to have some money set aside. So if you don't know when your mom's going to go, and you don't want to be reliant
Not saying
on money
I am. Not saying I am relying on that, but I want it to be clean. I don't want nobody to touch it. Why all of a sudden I get this big payout and all these people, hey, your mom didn't pay this. Hey, your mom didn't pay this.
Yeah, that's why you can't count on those things.
That shouldn't come out of my cut.
Out of my end.
Like, let's see if we can sell her house, sell some old mementos, some frogs or
How
something.
Oh, yeah, 'cause she got
all their black Santas.
Get rid of that stuff. You don't come for my coin. I just got this.
How much would you?
I hope his mom leaves him nothing.
Well, no. Let's say she does. Let's say there's a policy or whatever. How much would you be left? And you'd go, like, what's the minimum
broke
where you'd be
bitch.
bummed out? Yeah.
I would be bummed out if it was less than like $30K.
Wow. $30,000.
Meanwhile, Mary's like, actually has a parent that passed away that left her nothing, and he's like, under 30. Bleh. What? Why do you even have a mom?
So I'm just letting him go where I'm like, you're going to regret all this when she actually dies.
My dad
He'll play
went-
it back for you.
When my dad didn't really His dad died when he was 15, and his mom got remarried, and he had two brothers and a sister, and he was pretty estranged from his family. We didn't know him growing up. My grandma lived in New Mexico for a long time, and we'd see her once every so often. He and his siblings reunited when their mom died, and they all went to the funeral, right? But he hadn't talked to his siblings in decades at that point. So my grandma dies like I was probably a freshman in high school, so this is a long time ago. And they all got some money from her. And I don't know how much, but I think it was in the neighborhood of, I think my dad got like 20 grand or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. But I don't know what kind of money my parents have. It wouldn't even occur to me to go, oh, gee, we get a payout when they die. I wouldn't even think of that. I'm like, I don't want, because you hear about siblings like fighting each other. I'm
Dude,
like,
it's
if
horrible.
it ever came to that, I'd be like, take my end. I don't care.
So my brother in Kentucky,
It's not worth fighting.
The MAGA brother, he is a real estate agent, and he also flips houses, does estates, like handles estates, all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So he said that is the number one thing that he sees when it comes down to estate sales and taking over that kind of stuff, that it will tear families apart. That people
Yeah.
just get so nasty when it comes, like they don't even care that the parent is dead. They're at each other's throats over who's going to get the estate or the money or the this or the that.
And
he's
I realize some people really need money too. So it's not always that people are just being petty. But man, why would you go to the mat over that? There's got to be a way to have a group of people and figure it out. I know it's different personalities
No, there's some,
and things
I was
like
going to
that.
say, even in my family, before we found out my dad had nothing, there was my 28-hour workday brother who was all about how much is left, what is this, what is that, and we're just like,
But did you
take
guys?
it.
But again, did you guys have any? Just knowing what you said about your dad and his habits or whatever, was there any indication that your dad had money socked away?
Well, we didn't
unspent.
know. We didn't know if he had life insurance. We didn't know if he had anything.
I
and
see.
Honestly, all the revelations about how bad it was after he died.
Okay.
Like we realized, he was spending every dime of every paycheck. Like we didn't know it was that bad
Gotcha.
until after he died. But yeah, we had those similar kinds of fights in our family where this imaginary money that doesn't exist and that people are already fighting over it.
Yeah. Oof. Let me take a break here. If you want to text for something, 35192. If you want to go see Sammy Hagar, George Thorogood, special guest, they're going to do a show out at Blossom